In this sixth video of the Melody series, we will examine the idea of articulation. Beyond tempo and dynamics, we can also further create differences between music by adding things known as articulation. Articulation is simply put the style of how a note is played. With articulation, we would see various symbols placed above or below the notes. Here is a sampling of some of these articulation symbols. Notice that if the stems point up, that the articulation symbols go below the note, and if the stems point down, the articulation symbols go above the note. This helps keep the music looking neat and organized. Each of these symbols is further explained below. If I place a dot above or below a note, that is known as a staccato, and when we see that, we are meant to play the note separated or short. Please don't confuse this dot with the dot that might be placed to the right of the note, as that lengthens the value. Should a straight horizontal line be placed beside the note here, that is known as a tenuto, and that is quite the opposite of the staccato, meaning that we should play the note for its full length as written. Sometimes when we see a tenuto, it also encourages us to play that note loudly. Even louder still would be the symbol of an accent sign. Shaped just like the greater than sign used in math, the accent is meant to be played with greater stress. The loudest articulation symbol, however, is the one here known as marcato. Almost as though it looks like an accent rotated 90 degrees, the marcato would be a note that is played the loudest. Sometimes marcatos can also be played short as well. The odd symbol out here, however, is the fermata. Known as a bird's eye, when we see the fermata placed above or below a note, this means that we should play that note longer than written, or more commonly, holding that note until the conductor signals for us to stop. Think of the fermata as a pause while still holding the note. It is also possible for there to be articulation symbols that actually don't have us articulate whatsoever. Examples of this would be slurs and ties. Both of these are referenced with a curved line. However, you can see here that the slur marking is for any curved line that connects two or more different notes. If it is connecting two or more of the same notes, we would refer to that as a tie. Whether it's a slur or a tie, just remember that we don't articulate the notes underneath that curved line. They are meant to be played smooth together. In our next video, we will examine symbols that have nothing to do with dynamics or articulation. Instead, these symbols will help us understand where we would travel to when reading a piece of music.